Hello everybody, Ashes101 here, and a very warm welcome to another episode from the KrankyKraft server. Well, first of all today, I want to thank everybody who left some ideas for those creeper doors in the comments on the last video. Much appreciated, and that's really helped me to finish them off. Well, the one anyway. So yes, thank you very much for that, and obviously all feedback is always appreciated anyway. But first of all, I wanted to address a particular comment I got from Fatboy. That's his username. So don't hate me. Yeah, Fatboy. I think he means it in a cool way. So he said he left a comment saying like, huh? I thought the bases were outside the labyrinth, and then I'm talking about like this room here. So obviously confusing, and it made me realise that I've not been very clear about it, and perhaps I needed to explain it. So what we have basically, obviously right now we're at white base or quartz base, whichever you want to call it, and each base, so there are 4 bases, white, green, red and blue, I think is the right order. Now each base consists of 2 rooms, and I think that's the bit that's not been explained very well by me, so that's the confusing bit. So we have the room here, which is inside the labyrinth itself, and then we have this other room in here, which is separate. I thought this was probably the easiest way, the way to show you is show you the white base, the one that Cranky's been working on a little bit here. Because so what we have on basically on the outside, this is where players will enter the labyrinth originally. Okay, so from the main entrance, which we haven't even talked about yet, that's going to be up there. So work on that has not even begun. We're just trying to get the main project down here finished first of all. But basically the idea is, I think I'm safe from whatever skeleton that is I hear. The main idea is that players will come in via rails. Obviously, you can enter and exit. There's no need to have that button there yet, but yes, that's the idea. So enter and exit the labyrinth itself from here. My idea, I had one idea, because I was thinking actually that say you got like teams of 4 or whatever, you're going to have 4 players wanting to come to the base at the same time. So rather than having minecarts jamming up here, I did have one sort of seed of an idea, but I haven't thought it through yet. But it was kind of like where, because I think when rails turn a corner, they always go in a certain direction, don't they? Some like southwest rule or something like that it's called. But I believe if you power the normal rail, then it will turn the other way instead. So I was wondering whether we could use that with some kind of detector rail to have this at the end here, to have it branch off and split into 4 different exits here. So you could have just one rail line itself going between the entrance, which will be well, it's way up there. I can't go outside and show you really, but it'll be way up there, and they'll come down here to the different bases according to what base they want to go to, what team they're on. And I was thinking, so they all can come down on one rail, just setting off a few seconds apart from each other, and then they hit somewhere, you know, a bit further in there, but hit a detector rail or 2, or so, you know, some a little bit of basic redstone there to split them off, so it just kind of alternates, maybe like with a couple of flip-flops or something like that. I don't know, you guys know I'm not clever enough for that stuff, but just basically, yeah, to have four of these at the end, so up to 4 players can arrive separately, nice and neat. That was one idea. Anyway, so they'll enter in here, and what will be in this section is basically already in place. I mean, it's pretty much down to decorating and finishing off now. But the idea is, so we have beds. You only need 1 bed. It's only for setting your spawn point, your respawn point. So you only need 1 bed, but obviously for looks, you know, we'll have 4 beds in here. Could I have another one? Nah, probably too crowded. Yeah, 4 beds is right, I think. So that's the idea there. It's just to reset your spawn point. So when players are killed in, you know, if we have games, because you could have games, you know, like ultra hardcore, where you only have 1 life. sort of idea. But you can have respawning games as well, and I'm thinking, I think those will be the most fast-paced ones. You know, they're the ones I'm looking forward to the most. I think, you know, like a capture the flag with, you know, infinite respawns. So you know, you'll respawn here. The door there's a doorway here. These levers here, they're not really wired up to much. It's just a couple of pistons each at the minute. But the idea is this will be completely blocked off, and basically you'll only be able to get in out from, so you'll have maybe pressure plates there. You'll only be able to get out from this side. And that's about the best we can do, because you know we can't use command blocks or anything like that. And you know, obviously if a player stood here and waited for somebody else to come out, they could nip back in this room. But that is not very sporting. So, and a lot of the labyrinth being in a, you know, on a SMP server, you know, a lot of how the mechanics work of this really just relies on people obeying the rules and not trying to cheat. So that's, you know, that's as much as you need, I think. You know, everyone on the server knows that what the rules will be, and that they'll just follow them. There's nothing more to say than that, really. You're not going to have people doing dick moves like that. So there you go. And then the only other thing really in this initial area is this dressing room we've labelled as at the moment. And so you step on there, and the dispensers here will issue you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 random items. This is not like you know, feet armor, trousers, chest plate, helmet, boots. That's it. Feet armor, and a sword. You know, that you could have. That would obviously probably be ideal. But you know, you're not going to end up with that. You're going to end up with like a fish and a flint and steel and a helmet and a piece of zombie flesh and an axe, something like that. I don't know. Just a bunch of random stuff, or you know, or a potion or something like that. Bunch of random stuff. So when you get killed, you will respawn whichever bed you slept in. Say this one here. Respawn here. Hop in the dressing room for your starting loadout, and then there, pressure plates or whatever mechanism we use, tripwire, anything. Pressure plates will probably be best, I think. Doors will open, and you are back in the labyrinth itself, back ready for battle. That's what that room is for. So that's basically the idea that it is a one-way system. And then you have this room here. This is the outer room, and this is the room which any player, including players from other teams, can obviously access. So the idea of this room is that actually I'll show you, because well, that's one of the things I wanted to put together in the episode today. Before we head over there though, because I'm going to carry on working on that same room again today. Yeah, before we head over here, I just thought I'll nip in and show you this room, because this room is this is a work in progress. Walden McGillis has been working on this room, and you know, he's not making his own videos yet, so there's no harm showing it, I don't think. And he's doing a really good job. It's kind of part way. This grouse and wood appeared, and unfortunately I had to leave him sign. No flammable blocks, please. Remember, Rook will be running around here with a flint and steel. And if you don't know what I'm referencing there, you should go back and see the little impromptu. Rook's got it on his channel. I didn't upload it, but he was recording. Little impromptu sort of fight we had after one of Walden's UHC series, and the guy was just going insane with the flint and steel. That's kind of like his thing now. Anyway, so yeah, obviously sticking with the theme. So at this end of the room, we've got quartz blocks, letting you know that you're heading towards the white base, and they finish here. So just this half of the room. So just being in the room tells you the direction of the base. You know, that way quartz base, that way middle of the labyrinth. Okay. Really nice. He's got some nice designs here. He's cut into this corner. This was just a wall, but he's come in and made a lovely little room here with a little sort of pillbox thing. But it's not too advantageous, look, because go right up against it, you can't actually see the entrance there or anything. So you got to stand back a little bit to get any kind of good shots off. And you are still vulnerable to attack from the outside. That's really nice. We got a couple of bits of cover here. Again, he's just putting some random holes. Ability to shoot through those. Very nice. Again along there, so that's a nice little way to sprint across, but not fully protected. And he's got a little walkway up the top here. which again is very nice. I had to put some torches down because it was spawning things. But luckily no creepers, so that was okay. So yeah, this room coming along nicely. It's quite one of the larger rooms, this one, so very pleased that he's taken that on. And let's head over now then to the base, the green base, and we'll show you what I'm up to with my thinking with that, and also the completed creeper door. Over here and down here through this bit. This is a bit of a straight. If you remember when I was doing this room, I don't know whether this is too straight of it, so you only have to dink left and you can run straight through. I was wondering whether to add another block on the end of this wall here. It'll leave quite a tight gap there, so I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide whether it's necessary at the moment. I might wait until playtesting to see about that. But here we are, one completed creeper door. So just walk you through it. Obviously the whole mouth part and the mechanism and that is the same as what you saw in the last episode, but the eyes, fix the eyes. Turbo, actually, he left a comment or sent me a message, I can't remember, saying that the reason their eyes were off was because originally he designed it as like a like for odd numbers. So I guess that was probably a full block in the middle there or something, and then these would be steps going that way if it was like 3 wide, which makes sense. So obviously you had to just adapt the design a little bit so it would go in here, because this is even numbers, which is always a little trickier for these things. So that's the reason that the eyes looked a bit off, so which makes sense. So what I've done is I've moved them in here. We got some, I think that's upside down stairs. Yeah, upside down stairs up there, which just give it's moved them inwards a bit, which now it looks right. Obviously they're not like a full block tall, but I think it looks good like that though. It kind of looks mean, you know, looks like an angry creeper. The lights were obviously in over the top of theirs. They got covered up, so they've had to come in one. I've had to retain the lights because otherwise these blocks here were too dark. This was like block lights 7 or 8 down here, so we've had to retain the lighting in there. Obviously I've just whacked in a couple of bits of mossy and cracked in there just to give it some flavour, and we've got the emerald blocks, the colour blocks. So obviously these are the ones that will change depending on what colour base it is, and I hid some away, so I hid some away in there, and we've got those ones there. Kind of wasteful, you know, like I say, I hate doing that because you can only see a quarter of the emeralds, and it it just feels like a waste, but it gives you the green, you know. And there was, I wanted there to be a lot of green, so it's really clear what colour base it is, but without just being all emerald blocks, because it just, some of the stuff I came up with, you should have seen, it was looking terrible. But I got for the full blocks here, just because I thought, well, there's no reason not to. When you're entering the base, you know, it's got to be clear which one you're going into and everything. So, and I don't think that's overdoing it. Because the other option is to raise that up by 1, so it's like that, but at the top, if you know what I mean. Just have another rail, iron railing right there, and then you'll just see the bottom of that block. That is an option. If you think it would look better like that, you can let me know. But as you can see from just this far back, you can't see an awful lot of the colour there, and it's the same when they're up there as well. So I did that originally. That was what I first did, you see. But I didn't think there was enough of the green colour visible as you approach the base. It didn't look too much like you were entering something special. So, that's the creeper door finished. I know I said I was going to work on all the other ones, but this is as far as I've got. Just doing that bit on the other side. That's it. Because I haven't had a chance to play it all this week. It's been pretty annoying, actually. Just one thing after another's come up, and you know, nothing major, nothing important, but just anything and everything has stopped me having any free time in the last week. But these things happen, you know. So, what we're going to work on today is just a little bit, because I mean, that's taken up half the episode there, but that's alright, because my next idea is this is becoming my specialization, by the way, is just coming up with just half-cocked ideas. Because that's what this is as well. I've only half thought about it, but what we need to have in this room of the base, so that you can see, like, so with green base here, this is where there'll be beds here eventually, right here where I'm standing, but this isn't even dug out yet, you see, so that's why I'm working on this bit. So what we need to have here is a facility, if you like, to do things like capture the flag and stuff like that. And the obvious answer to that is chest. You need to have a chest somewhere in this room. The obvious answer to that, to be fair to everything, is to have it in the middle of the room. This is an even number across here as well, so it's going to have to be a double chest. But what I was thinking was, and I think in my head this looks really cool, so I want to try and lay it out and see what you think. Because again, this, you can only have one double chest. Well, you could have two if you put a trapped one and a normal one. But at the same time, what is the point of having two chests in here? No, you don't want two chests in here. I don't think you would anyway. So right here, now I've made a couple of chests just to put down. So something like, I don't know, probably this way around. Okay, so chest there. Bang. Finished. No. But then, like, on a pedestal, like that, right? Around something like that. It could be bigger. You could have actually you couldn't you? You could have something like this, and then it comes across a bit more, something like this. On that bit, and then from the ceiling, something very, very similar. And this is the bit I've not made this up in a creative or anything, so I don't know if it's going to look, oops, oh, 4 blocks. I don't know if it's going to look really stupid, so we'll have a go and we'll see what happens. But what I was trying to do was think of a way you could have a chest right in the middle here, but we want to be able to control that with the control from the control room as well, you see. We want to be able to put items into it and empty it out again, all from the control room. And I was thinking, well, if it's right in the middle of the room like that, you can't have wiring coming in from the back and the side and everything like that. I briefly saw the guys the other night, and I asked a couple of questions about how the hoppers work, because there was the redstone geniuses were on. We had Rourke and BDA were on there as well. Here we go. This is kind of what it's looking a little bit thicker than I had in my head, but I don't know if that can be avoided really, because of it being a double chest. I think, because in my head it was only a single chest, but it's going to have to be a double, otherwise it's not going to be central, and that's just going to kill everyone. But now, obviously, right, that's the idea, like that. Now imagine it looking a lot fancier and nice. Obviously you jazz it up, you know, nice design up here and everything. That's annoying. But this is the idea. So what we have the chest here, and obviously it won't open right now because I've put 4 blocks above it, but those, in fact, we can knock them out now probably. Yep. What those will be, or at least one of them anyway, will in fact be I should be able to open it now. Yay. Will in fact be a hopper. Alright, so we can drop items in there, and this is, so obviously you'd have the tube coming down, just like with the reward chests. So you have the tube coming down from above, like this, and we can drop items in there. And then this is the bit that I'm a little bit hazy about, but I think it's okay, that we could have a hopper underneath, and then I think if you power that hopper, it won't empty the chest until it receives a signal which unpowers it, and then it will empty the chest. I think that's how they work, and in which case, so we can fill the chest from the top. You can have stuff in there during the match, and then the guy at the control room, he can press a button and empty it again and retrieve everything out of it to clear up afterwards. That's the idea. That's what I'm thinking. And then obviously around the edge here, you've got all... Oh, no, just one stair. Is that all I have left? Okay, never mind. This kind of pattern all around the edge, and then it's a question of incorporating the base colours into everything as well. So that's the idea. That's where I'm up to. I know we haven't placed an awful lot of blocks in this episode. I know we maybe doesn't feel like we've achieved an awful lot, but frankly I haven't had, like I say, any time to play, which means I haven't really had much time to plan this episode. But this is definitely the next sort of bit of the base that I wanted to, and that gives you the idea now, hopefully, so you can have it clear in your minds about exactly how these bases are going to work. So you have the entrance rails in here, you have your beds to set your spawn, and you will have somewhere over in this region the little dressing room dispenser bit. Then you come through here with a set of piston doors, you come into here and you are in the labyrinth, and this is your base, this is your colour base. And then 4 capture the flag type game modes, anything of that ilk, you can have stuff in there, you know. And then for other game modes, I don't know, maybe you could use that as a reward chest as well, or something as well. Even perhaps the Games Master could just randomly drop goodies in there, or other stuff, you know. There's every time I think about it, you know, there's another idea pops in, and I don't want to I don't want to make it too complicated, so I don't know. But the idea for that though is for you to capture the flag. So there'll be a particular item you could have, like something really unusual that wouldn't possibly be used for anything else. So you could have wither skulls, something like that. You could use them as your flags. So you grab one out of there, and then you run back to your base and deposit it in. Now there's a thought. Where do you deposit? Maybe we do need 2 chests. Where would you deposit your flag to score the point? Because if you put it back in there, then other players can steal it again. Oh, now I've confused myself. Well, that's the next thing I'll be considering then, is how that might work. And if you have any ideas, please let me know, because that has just literally now occurred to me, and I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Or maybe you would just have, maybe over here we could have a hole in the wall here. Right, hole in the wall there, and then a little gap with some hoppers underneath. So you could got anything I would just want to throw away? Yeah, some dirt blocks. There we go. So right, so when you have the item, let's build this out a little bit actually here. Let's just brainstorm. Just don't want this to go on much longer this episode, but let's see, something like this, and then across here like this, and then not like that. Okay, just something like this then. Yeah. Something like this. Right, there you go. Something like that. Do you have something like that? And then those there would be hoppers, so they will take in whatever you chuck in there. And then so say this, pretend this dirt block here is a wither skull, or whatever item we end up using for the flags. I've captured it from red base over there. I'm running back, got back to my base safe and sound, and deposit it in there, irretrievable by anybody else, because you can't see that block. Or perhaps, yeah, you could lower it down another block there so that you can't possibly steal back out of those hoppers, or they can obviously drop down into a chest which you then can't get to. That seems like a good idea. That seems alright idea. Right, let me know what you think about that then. Please do, because the more discussion I have with other people about all these aspects of the labyrinth, the better it seems to get, you know. 2 heads are better than 1, and 50 heads are better than 2. So, yeah, please, everybody, let me know. I think that'll just about wrap it up for this episode. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I will get a bit more time to play over the following week, and we might see a little more progress progress on the base here. But otherwise it'll end up like this again next episode. We can carry on. No promises. I've got a baby. You never know what's going to go on. Right, so yeah, I've been Ashes101. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.